Some guy around chasing me with a net. And then I found the hospitals on the East Coast.
All right, Roddy. Well, thanks for joining us this afternoon here and this weekend. It's a pleasure. Great, great. So, thank you. Footprints.
Footprints?
Yeah.
You and Tony Adams.
Cool.
Hey, how y'all doing? Good deal. Let's ask some questions that never been asked before.
Well, you know, let's go ahead and open up with some from the audience to begin with.
Am I supposed to say something?
Well, I have some questions, but I'm going to go ahead and, yeah. No.
I've been on the road. You just go.
Oh, okay. Well, you have your hand up. Go ahead and go.
I heard that there was a rumor when you were filming Day Live that the bottle scene when the bottle broke, that it was all ad-libbed. Is that true?
Yeah.
Because you smiled.
I laughed.
Yeah.
Well, because it was like, the thing with the fight in They Live was, John Wayne. Thank you. Him too. A lot of Johns, you know? Every hotel I in got John. So, John Carpenter had me watch John Wayne in The Quiet Man with Maureen O'Hara, and at that time that was the longest fight in cinema history. And he wanted he being John Carpenter wanted the longest fight in cinema history, and the difference was it was a fight that matched the arc of the script. It was a fight between two friends, not two enemies. So when I just got from Ace, Bobby Orton did that one time, broke a bottle and he got mad at me, but he cut his own hand. I thought that was pretty funny. And Keith did the same thing. I thought it was funny, you know, but you know, I'm not incurring the pain in the hand. And in this case, that made Keith mad because he followed suit, which is good. You know, I don't know that he was mad for that act, but as much as he was hitting me, he might have been now that I think about it. He's killing me. I never want to fight that guy again. Thank God I'm not a wrestler.
How did your career as a wrestler help to, and you know, in terms of acting, how did it help you prepare your character and doing your stunts?
Haven't been home for a while. What was it again?
You know, within your career as a wrestler, how did that help to inform your performance, and what did that bring for you?
You know, people ask how I'm supposed to talk into this thing. How did wrestling help me with acting? And it's horrible. Because like wrestling's explosion, acting's implosion. They couldn't be worse for each other. And it was hard to go from like really big to, for like 15 at that time years or whatever, to really small all of a sudden and not really know what you're doing. What's the question? How did it help me? Other than, if it came right down to it, I could kick. I can't speak, but I could kick Keith's ass. So you say that.
Kick Keith's ass? You kick Keith's ass? Yeah. Kick Keith's ass.
Get a lift.
Yeah.
Yeah, other than the fact that I could defend myself, that it really didn't help me at all in that movie. Yeah.
Now, how familiar were you with John Carpenter's work as a director before you were being approached?
I never heard of the guy because, and I mean all respect, like I started fighting pro when I was 15, and that was 1969, and then you gotta understand, I was put in a different world of like gypsies and gunslingers and whole dude. Like my uncle was a giant, my aunt was Moolah, and my cousin was Hornswoggle, you know, I'm a 15-year-old kid, you know, whoa, big Jesus. I am playing the bagpipes and a kill. What do you guys do? I don't know, I just make money and drink, you know. What's the question? I'm sorry. I'll get to it. What was the question, Sharon? Oh, there was no question. I'll make it up. You know, Vince McMahon got like really, really angry. That's what started I don't think you guys know this. Vince McMahon sent a message to my lawyer because he didn't want me to do They Live. And he told me, oh, I'll get to it on Joe Carter. I want you, at least you gotta remember the questions, okay? I'm the wrestler. Anyway, Roger. So I was in this world and it's airplanes and stuff, and I didn't know who John Carpenter was. I just, like, Sound of Music was playing on the airplane or whatever. You know, it's hard to tell with that much blood. And so Cyndi Lauper's manager, Dave Wolf, I was at WrestleMania 3, and this guy, this director wants to meet you. He wants to, you know, star in a movie. And I said, you know, I'm a little bit, 93,000 people out there, I'm a little busy right now, you know. And then that night, he, like, Carpenter, some guy bought me a bottle of Cristal champagne, and I put orange juice in it, you know. Because I got class. And I'm having dinner with John Carpenter and his wife and whoever else is there. And honest, it was like, you want a Coke? Sure. Some papers, pass the rolls. You want to start with the next movie? Sure. Is that butter? That was it. And then and then McMahon told me, he says, I'll get, if you don't do They Live, no, it wasn't They Live. If you don't do that movie, I'll get you another movie for the same money within 4 weeks. I said, no, it was John Carpenter directing, you won't. And he got hot, and he sent a message to my lawyer. He said, you tell Piper that only Vince and Hulk are true blue WWFers. And so they kicked me out of the wrestling, or tried to kick me out of the wrestling industry. But then Hollywood, it was like, oh great, another jock that thinks he's an actor. Okay, here we go. Down the Nile again in a basket. You know, it's like, no swaddling clothes either. No donkey, no manger. It's bagpipes. So then Hogan and McMahon put themselves in a hotel room for a week. And I should just leave it there. That's all. And they wrote No Holds Barred as an answer to it, you know? Like, number one, They Live was the #1 hit movie of the weekend that it came out. I came Rattle and Hum, U2, and the All-American Dennis Quaid. And like U2, Friday night, they closed off Hollywood Boulevard and like gave a free concert, and I'm in so much trouble. And you know, open the paper and there it is, man. It's pretty cool. That's a cool job there. Just opening the paper part.
So why didn't Vince want you to make the movie?
Because he's an asshole. It's a control issue because you see, Vince is so much trouble right now. I don't know how I can get in anymore. I did an interview with 3. They asked me, they said, the guy said, it's not too long ago. He says, I'll give you $2,500 if you sit down for 15 minutes. 3 hours later, you know, they called me, I was on the road, and I've been on the road, like, kind of like now, only a little harder. And I went off, you know, and they put it up on Demand TV, and the next thing was like Patterson's Bone Piper or something. It had nothing to do with They Live, but it sure been dominating my life the last, you know, couple months. They're really fond of me there. Is that it? Can I go now?
Yeah.
I feel like there should be a couch I should be laying on.
For you, what was the most rewarding aspect of making a movie and then seeing the finished results on the screen?
I'll tell you the truth, you know what it is? You know, I'll tell you how serious. Like we joke around, but how serious. Because like at that time especially, I have 4 children. Right now, my wife for 32 years, I'm feeding kids back then. And I'm sure you must have heard Roddy Piper, the greatest wrestler never to hold the WWE Championship. And if you think about it, that on Raw, they would say that every once in a while. And they just stopped just a little bit ago, I'll tell you what. And that goes into 150 countries every week. So those announcers, what does it take? Roddy Piper, the greatest wrestler never to hold the WWE Championship. But Piper's not on the roster, he's not going to wrestle, he's got nothing to do with that. That's 10 seconds. If you got a 3-hour show going into 150 countries, how much money is that burning? So, and what's the point? Testimony. And I had a chance. I could have stayed and been the champion, or gone and let they live. And what happened was, in WrestleMania 2, I don't know why, but it wasn't like I didn't insult the guy enough. I know the 3rd round, you know, I'm boxing Mr. T, and you guys just start chanting my name. You know, I'm like, holy man, hair just started falling out of Hogan's head. McMahon's doing bad, nobody knows what to do. I am, right? What are you doing that for? You know, he shouldn't be. And like the next day after WrestleMania 2, oh no, Custard felt. Pretty lonesome feeling in there. And in the underground, I got the word that Hogan said that I'll just ride on his coattails, and on his kilts, rather to speak. It's a true story, man. Fuck, I wish that wasn't a part of it. I'm trying to edit it, but I'm way into it now, aren't I? And I'll put this with the 3-hour thing. What was I saying to you? Because,
We appreciate your honesty.
yeah, well, I won't be able to job again. Bottom line is, what was rewarding about it is, you know what? So they were going to try to kill me off like they did Snuka, and that even wanted me to do They Live even more, because that allowed me to step out of my forum into a wider audience forum, get a #1 hit, and then I could walk back in the front door and they couldn't deny me. So that was my way of beating them. So the greatest thing I had, I'll be honest, a lot of balls. I was scared. And so finally, they had they in my industry voted who was the greatest villain in the history of the business, and they voted me. And I'm very grateful. I'm not sure they're right, because you know there's Gorgeous George, a lot of guys, but bottom line, I'm #1, and I never needed nothing. I never needed no belt, no nothing. And I'm also the first wrestler to ever star in a major motion picture that came in #1. And so, you know, we keep it up. Yeah, it was on for 2 weeks until Reagan caught on. I think that what was going on. Because it was like, you know, take your Rolex off, you know. It's called Reaganomics. I think it's a documentary now, man. It's like, it's coming true.
And there's a lot of, well, like the drones, there's, you know, that you see in the film, there's, you know, the drones in real life now.
They got Amazon's going to have drones delivering you stuff. I don't be shit. I don't need the FDA down my house, but a little fella. I know that actor, he was pretty cool, but everything is, you know, an actor gets a piece of work and he looks at it and it's all to that's what's great about it, it's your interpretation. And if you remember in the alley, this policeman come in and boom, I leveled the shotgun down on him, and then I see that he's not an alien, and I said, beat your feet, you know, and he ran away. First take, he comes out, whole thing, you know, boom, alien, okay, he's not an alien, I beat your feet. He goes like this. No, run away, run away. This is interpretation, it's pretty good.
So, as a director, how much artistic freedom did John Carpenter give you in creating your character and building it?
The whole character, John Nada, was built on my life. Nada means nothing. And I wore my wedding, I had my wedding ring, used to say this, just to piss her off sometimes. That's another story. So I always wore my wedding ring when I wrestled, and They Live I did too. And the thing about John Nada, the character that made him special, was you didn't know anything about it. You didn't know where he came from, you didn't know why he wore a wedding ring, why he was in town, where he was going, what was moral, filmed, F-I-M-P, financially, intellectually, morally, physically, on one front, from 1 to 10, where he was, and there's a lot of things in my early life that aren't known. And so, Carpenter had done this research, so he based it all around not knowing anything about the guy at all. And they were going to make a television series out of it. And one of the things that Carpenter was really adamant about was keeping the mystique of knowing anything about him. And that's what, I don't know, made you maybe feel for the guy a little bit. I think there's a lot of folks out there that don't come from any place and not necessarily going anywhere. Sometimes not so much fun.
Now, with all the action, all the stunts and everything, and how much of that is storyboarded out and before you actually go to the production, and how much of it is sort of winged on set or improvised on set?
Well, they storyboard like Meg Foster, I love her, man. She's like a volunteer fire department person, and like beautiful green eyes, and she tames tigers on her days off, and so she's got this bottle. It's a candy glass, supposedly, and she'd foam when I go out the window, and it's candy glass, yeah, but it's thick candy glass, and she doesn't want to hurt me, and so she just kind of goes there and goes like, plunk. Really? Oh, cut. Try again, Meg. Thunk. Hey, bitch. Whomp! Ah! I'll reset the window. Can you do that one more time, Roddy? No! She ain't gonna knock me right out with a candy glass bottle. I'm just a messenger here.
Can you talk a little bit more about working with Meg and working with Keith on the film?
I was incredibly, I'm incredibly grateful. Keith David is a great actor. Meg Foster's a great actress. And I didn't make no bones about it. I was where I was at the acting scale. And Keith would sometimes take me aside and help me, deliver my lines, whatever. And Meg was right there and would do different takes, and would sometimes, like, in one take, she mentioned the name of one of my daughters when they were young. So, I don't know that you could have found anybody any better. I got nothing but respect for them. They're fantastic. Beautiful people.
So, can we sort of talk about...
Keith's black, I don't know if you knew that.
I met him a couple times, yeah.
Wonderful guy.
Yeah, great voiceover actor as well, too.
Yes. I don't know.
So, let's talk a little bit, let's transition over into wrestling. What was it, you started when you were 15. What was it that attracted you to that as a career? And what was it like, at that age, getting into the profession?
You really want to know this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
I want to know about Don Owens.
Don Owens.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you gotta tell me when I'm born, I'll quit. Boards are shit out of the heck out of me. But okay. I was 15. Here we go. I'll give you the cliff notes. I left home when I was 13, and I came 5th in the world playing the bagpipes when I was 14. So I used to, on the streets of Canada, I would play the bagpipes, and I had a case. This is a case, and the case would be open, and they'd throw quarters in. And there was these youth hostels, and I gotta stand up. The airplanes are always tucking me in and get out. So, these youth hostels, I'll entertain your ass. You could cost $25 to go in this youth hostel. And I remember this one was in Toronto, Winnipeg. And this was YMCA. And here's a YMCA that are really steep stairs. And you go down there and you put $25, and they had a sign. And it said check your drugs and weapons at the desk. And like, they give them back to you too. Come on. Yeah, that's my coke. Anyway, I used to sell catnip, but that's another story. It's good money, but very short life. Shit, what was I talking about? Oh yeah. So I get $25, boom, boom, bang, bang. Start on the break, got the $25, boom, come to the youth hostel. And so when you got there, they gave you at nighttime they give you a sandwich, a little box of milk, and a cookie. Boom, 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 and then you play foosball or something till 9, 3-tier bunk beds, 9 o'clock, boom, lights out, 6 o'clock in the morning, loud rock and roll music. They give you a towel, 2 eggs, a piece of bacon, toast, boom, boom, take a shower, and get out, and you couldn't come back the next day. But, like, it's a YMCA, so in lieu of being raped, I started amateur wrestling and boxing. Because there was a bag there and wrestling mats, and I just didn't want to be kicked out of the YMCA just for standing there, you know. So, my amateur, I became the 167 amateur wrestling champion, the Golden Gloves champion, and I was on the street for 2 years. And when I was 15, my coach, he was a priest, and I'd come back and it closes at like at 9, like I told you, at 9 p.m. Like, you don't get in, and I'm out on the street. I went by trying to get there, and I went through this parking lot, and this man says like something like, make it up. Do you know where Victoria Street is? I went over there, and he tried to grab me. Shit, boom. And I'm running, but the place is closed. And I'm like, bang, 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 fire, let me in, you know. Jeez, I can hear the Sasquatch coming after me, man. I don't want to have any little Sasquatches, you know, so I'm really going to hurt. And so, like, the priest lets me in, and he sits me down, and this is I can almost do it. Because, like, he was leaving, and he says, Roderick, he says, sit down. He says, let me tell you what's going to happen to you. He says, I'm leaving, and they're not going to let you back in. And he says, they're not going to let you back in here, Roderick, and what's going to happen, you're going to get out there, he says, you're going to get cold, you're going to get lonesome, you're going to get hungry, you're going to go, and you're going to rob a 7-Eleven, and the police are going to catch you, they're going to put you in jail, they're going to rape you, and you're going to die. He's a priest, he knows this shit. What do you know about professional wrestling? I know what the fuck you're talking about. You'll be perfect. I can get you $25 if you want to fight this guy. Okay, 25 cents a night, $25. How many quarters is that? I'm in. But he went now. This was in Winnipeg. My coach, when Vernon Gagne, who was a very famous promoter back there in Minneapolis, came to Winnipeg, they used a local referee, which was my coach. So now, I went to my pipe band and said, like, what's this all about? And instead of explaining anything to me, they said, we'll play in. So my very first time, I had like 4 bagpipers, full regalia, and like a bass drummer, boom, 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 and a hat, furry thing with a scotch in the hole in the hat, if you don't know. You know, I was tipping, they just boom, 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 I was bored, I guess. And 2 snare guys, and I'm in the middle, like I'm 167 pounds. And I'm wearing the same kilt of the band. But like I'm a substitute. And it was just like sawdust floors. There was no music or nothing. And you guys remember Mr. Perfect? It's his dad. Larry Jackson, he's like 320 pounds, man. And I didn't understand it. I was upstaging him. I'm 15 years old, my nuts haven't dropped yet. And boom, boom, boom. I'm thinking, you know, I get up there, man, ding, ding. And 10 seconds, shortest match in the history of the Winnipeg Arena, still this day. You can't get it. You got a 3 count, you know, and it took them 2 steps to, and broke my nose and my eye open. And when I was coming to the ring, the announcer didn't know who I was really cared to get me to say something. My first name is Roddy, short for Roddy. And so he goes, ladies and gentlemen, here comes Roddy Piper. That name sucks. Killer Kowalski, Marathon Vajon, I get the painting. A lot of rainbows in that name. And the promoter came and gave me my 25 bucks and literally said, kid, you did great, how'd you like to go to Kansas City? And I was in Canada. And they smuggled me over the border. So like I didn't have any numbers, like I didn't have like a social security number or any kind of numbers like that. So like I was, I don't know, suspenseful for whatever words you want to use. And they just brought me right in. And I was what they call a pool. On a card for the wrestling matches here, like the main event, I don't know, make it up, Hogan versus Andre, da 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 da. And then at the very bottom, it's got pool, you know, P-O-O-M, plus one other match. For 4 years, I was a pool. Beat the shit out of me for 4 years. They hated me. So let's get into a therapy session, man. What was it, Don? How did I get to Portland? I've been wrestling a long time before Portland. But, do you guys know, this Don Owens is this guy in Portland? Oh, where are we? Yeah, you might know him. You know him? Where are you? Oh, you see, I shouldn't be here. So do that. Come around, you say Vince McMahon. I was with Bobby Orton last WrestleMania. Bobby Orton, you know, I'm laying on the floor and he's watching sports and stuff, you know. He's got a Time magazine and they got the billionaire list. And he goes down and he looks at me, Bobby Orton, he's talking like this all the time. And Piper says here, number 23, Vince McMahon, he says, don't you think maybe you ought to start trying to get along with him? In New Orleans, if you'll hear him, you'll 23!
Are there any other questions for the audience? Yes, right there.
Don Owens.
Hey, can I ask you 2 questions?
Sure.
Okay, the first one is, I really watched you wrestle as a kid in Portland, enjoyed your autobiography, heard you say on your podcast that you're going to release your second book. Is there a date yet?
Yeah, I got a lot of troubles with that. He'll go to Jim on a podcast. Piper's got more issues than TV Guide. That first book, I had a guy try to kill me in a car, and I died on the table. I keep going on this down. Cedar Sinai Hospital. I broke my right ankle, 4 ribs, bone, and into my liver, my spleen in my back in 2 places, and so I couldn't finish writing a book. And Penguin, who published the book, they got a ghostwriter, and they just kind of, well, that's why the book's incomplete. Right now, like, I was going to write the second part of it, but like, because stuff's got ugly now, because they're saying a lot of stuff about me, some is true and some is not true, and some that they're trying to put down like historically, because like, you know, I got kids, and you know, people talk like, one day, like I knocked out Mr. T, kicked Cindy Lauper, chased Dick Clark back to the dressing room, and slapped little Richard. You know, then my kid had to go to school the next day. And a New York City policeman, which I'm still paying for that one. It was very difficult. So the book, they just had a guy follow me for a year and did 100 hours on it all over the world. And like, it's so ugly and dark. And so I was thinking, well, because my family doesn't know, my kids don't know. So I was thinking of writing the book to my family, to let them know, because I have a hard time with, the quote's dead, I say, but I have a hard time talking about it. I was beat up so much. It's hard for you to understand, and I'm glad that you don't. But like, these aren't guys that are bullies beating you up. These are guys that know how to beat you up. And they make me bleed from, like, there's a hole called the sugar hole. You can do it with one hand, and it pushes the blood. It goes down and up, it comes out your eyes and your ears and nose. And like, they'll, boom, I'm not gonna let you breathe for 30, 29, 28. And you go in and out, they're like, I wanna let you breathe for 10, 9. They do it for a half hour, every night. You know, so every night help you, you know. I probably go a little too deep here. Give me a question so I can pull myself out of it.
Second question,
Yeah.
a lot easier. You said in your book you wrestled Andre a lot. Did you ever put him in a sleeper hold?
Oh, yeah, every time I go there, yeah. Yeah, bigger than that, the easier are they put out. That's true. I pushed Steve in 2-3 seconds, man. A guy taught me, I finally, when I was in LA, I getting beat up so much, man. Probably this one guy, you never know, he got like red hair, he looks like a clown. He's like the toughest man in the world. Not according to him either. He trained Bruce Lee, Chuck Norris. He's only given away like 20 some odd black belts. His name is Judo G. McDowell. The Olympic Auditorium. He's the godfather of MMA. Right now, Rowdy he's that 80-year-old man in the corner. She's named after me. And the sleeper. And Judo G. McDowell is the one who took me and finally taught me what I need to know. He's the guy who choked Steven Seagal on his own time. Allegedly. And, yeah, he's an asshole. And to Mr. Perfect's credit, we were at some, I don't know, it's like maybe Dallas Airport or something, and the guy's name I just said, he's with a couple guys, and you know, like the wrestlers over here, and they're kind of entouraging over there, and Mr. Perfect's in the can. And I guess Seagal was saying negative things, and he didn't know Perfect was behind him. And there's this thing that Brad Reagan says a lot. I'm not going to do you, but teach you how to take an eye out. It's hard to take an eye out. No kidding. Mad Dog taught me. They got like four ligaments. You know, anybody tell you like I took an eye out? He's full of shit. It's got 4 ligaments, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you gotta get around, and you gotta get behind them, and they're like elastic bands. So you gotta like, and then you gotta get the next one, like, you gotta be really mad. 4. I'll just leave them hanging, that'll be fine, you know? Mr. Perfect, like, just jab your finger in a guy's ear the right way. You bring him to his knees, and Seagal didn't know it. Perfect guy, love him, man. I love him so much. Came out and and just fucking dropped him. And so, one time Seagal's on the stage with his shoes, you know, he's on set rather. And you know, like, Seagal's a big guy, and he's good at the formulas, but he's a bully. You're walking out and, you know, okay, I'll tell you about Hogan's porn tape. How's that? Will you stay? Yeah, well, if we do one on you. All right. Well, I won't wind it up here then. What was I saying?
Seagal's a bully.
Thank you. Steven Seagal is an asshole. So he's on the set, and he's good at that thing. It's a form of you go with it and bending and shit. And but you know, but he's a bully, like Nash. He's a bully. And you come after him, and he backs off, and he's saying like, nobody could, you know, whatever, you know, he choked me out. Like, Judo Bell at times about like 67, you know, red hair. Judo Bell had his gi wash when he went to the Olympics, and somebody washed it with like a red towel and it came out like a light pink. He still wears it. See, he beats everybody up. And allegedly, Uncle G, I'm up, and there's a couple ways with the sleeper. You can do it where you make the guy loaf, you know. That's what Uncle G did. And then, Seagal, you know, piece of shit. Well, he got up, and then he had Uncle G fired, you know. Anyway.
My favorite part of your book was when you talked about not working against Owen and Portland. How difficult was it to maintain that for 2 years? And how did management receive it when you said you wouldn't?
manager would be Vince, and I know I wouldn't work. I told him no, Vince. Don Owens. Shoot. I tell you the type of the guy Don Owens was. He treated me real well. You know, back in those days, you gotta understand, I was, my first main event was in Los Angeles for like 3.5 years, was what they call on top. Then my second territory on top was here. I worked maybe 10 before that. And when you come, nobody knows you. So you gotta start all over again. If you're coming from someplace you were the main event, you know, and so like that's why Buddy Rose never left this area. Because he was afraid if he went to someplace else he wouldn't get over the same way. So for Don Owens, the first day I was in, nobody knows who I am. And so I tell everybody to be quiet for the Scottish National Anthem, and I'm playing my bagpipes over the microphone. Don Owens got the microphone, and I played the bagpipes like Jack Benny played the violin back then. And I'm win, and like the people would start booing, I'm like, and like, just as I get right, all of a sudden Don Owens goes, wait, stop. Now, I can't play the bagpipes and neither can you, so let's give them another try. Oh, never mind, Don, we'll just put them aside and we'll try another way. So it's Thanksgiving, and Don Owens, every Thanksgiving brought all the wrestlers frozen turkeys, and this one year he had midgets in, so we bought them Cornish hens. I fell in love with him. And Vince wanted, you know, say, nah, I won't do it. And then it got to the point where he's coming without me and Don, and then, you know, it's business. Well, I held out as long as Don did. He was a good man.
Roddy, what's your favorite memory of Mad Dog?
Holy shit. Mad Dog. My favorite memory? Well, I'll tell you one story. Do you guys know the story about, so I'm not boring you and I'll finish with this one, about my first encounter with Mad Dog? Please tell me so I'm not being redundant. Really don't?
Keep
Honest,
going.
all right. So, Larry Henning, right? Blood. 1, 2, 3, 10 seconds. My pipe band leaves. I'm sitting down. It's so bloody. And the promoter had like hush puppies where, like, I don't know if you understand this. They had pennies in their shoes for some reason. I'm not really sure why. And all I can remember is like the shoes with the pennies in them. I thought he was going to duke me out of my 25 bucks, you know? Because like that was the point of being there. You missed that, you know. I had no intentions of being a wrestler nor going back in there with Larry Henning. And kid, you did great. How'd you like to go to Kansas City? You know, there's only one other wrestler in the dressing room. And I said, like, well, sir, is like Larry Henning going to be there? You know, and yeah, good question. I was going to do 11 seconds tomorrow night. Only got one eye left. And he says, no, we won't overmatch you. They had and he just looked at this wrestler and said, the kid needs a ride to Kansas City. This guy's name, he looks over at me, and it's like silence, and like, I'm bleeding, and there's nobody who really gives a shit. And, you know, there's nothing to sew me up with, and I'm trying to figure out how to stop bleeding, I guess. And I hear, go so good. They used to play cocksucker. Now I know he's talking to me. It's this wrestler. His name's Mad Dog Vachon. And he was the wrestler. The guy says, so he goes, hey, you need a ride? Yes, sir. A little worried about the price. I need a ride. You come with me, cocksucker. No exaggeration here. I'm going to give the cliff notes of this one. All right. We get in the car, Mad Dog like, he don't go any place under 100 miles an hour. Parks at 100 miles an hour. He and I'm honest, I'm literally squishing against the door trying as much space as I can get between this mad dog. Why they don't put him down, I don't know. And he's mad, and we're going, like, I don't know, maybe hour and 15 minutes, and he doesn't say a word to me, and he puts his radio on, that there's an AM radio, and it's talking about aluminum siding. And like, your house has got aluminum siding, put aluminum siding on your house, the sun in the house doesn't get hot from the sun, aluminum siding, the water rains off the water, it's aluminum siding. Apparently Mad Dog liked a lot of shit about aluminum siding, I guess. Fucking hour of it. You're scoffing me now. And then he just like pulls over. And the Mad Dog's hungry. Oh shit, I know, here we go. And he gets out and he goes in the diner. And I'm like, but he just leaves me in the car. Roddy the Piper's a little fucking hungry too, you know? I could sell aluminum siding by this guy. So, it's like, I don't know what it took me. I'm a little scared, maybe 4 or 5 minutes. I get in, he's already at the diner, the Mad Dog is. And we speak a different language. Back then, everything was different. Like, it's called carny. Like, if you're in a carnival and you hear, hey, Rube, you want to get the hell out of the way. Because what they do is, we'll start, if you hear, hey, Rube, that means somebody's jerking around, and all these guys will come from these different machines, but then the midget will come, he comes underneath, cuts you, and he goes, and then everybody walks away, and they take care of him. That's, well, hey, Rube means that's what's going to happen. In this case, Mad Dog's sitting here, like, you know, there's a counter, and like, I even leave a chair, you know, and like, sitting over here. You'll be scared in a second. And like Mad Dog and Carney, I just do the translation basically. Basically, Mad Dog says, you know, can you get a little, shit. No, there's even one younger. I'm sorry, man.
Come in here.
That's where I accuse myself, Dad. Bottom line, okay? I can't, like, he tells me to get away from him, so I get away from him. Now, I'm way over here, and here comes, like, Flo. By this time, Mad Dog's already ordered, like steak and salad and soup and somehow starts with an S, I don't know. Vegetables and all kinds of stuff. And he's eating, and he looks at me. Now, I got 25 bucks, right? Canadian. I'm in America. I got nothing. And I'm hungry. And Flo, or whatever her name was, comes up. I don't want money. And I'm like, well, what can I help you? You know, I wish, you know. I said, can I have a glass of water? And Mad Dog, he like turns into Sing. Oh, the little boy. I'll leave the other. You know the name now, okay? All right, the little boy. Oh, skinny, give him the dumb Mad Dog has. Give him, and all of a sudden, steak and what was those S's? The salads and the vegetables and the other S's that were over there. And we're eating, and Mad Dog, he turned in like the nicest guy, and he's talking to me about, oh, during the war, I will stay over here during the war. I make the bullets, I just throw them over to the Germans. Okay, fine, you know. I'm like, what is happening, you know? He's from Quebec, you know, feared street fighter, having a great old time, and like, I got this horrible issue that I love lemon pie to a fault. You're gonna see, because Flo had a piece of lemon pie, and I was just in the flow of things, and she got the lemon pie. My fault. I put my hand out for lemon pie. Mad Dog turns around, grabs me by the throat, pushes me up against the wall, and he's choking to death. And he's going, you Mike, you think that Mad Dog is a coward and punk. And while he's talking to me, his head, nasty head's turning red, and like there's white stuff coming out of his mouth. Like, and all of a sudden, he's like a 180 and boom. Just a heart attack. Singing, die. But ride, you know, like, and then Mad Dog, like, it's a day in the life of Rod. Mad Dog goes, he goes, go to get the Mad Dog to the hospital. Flo, get an ambulance. The Mad Dog won't make it. I've been stealing cars since I was 12, so you know, the driving wasn't the problem. It was getting this fat butt in the car. Get his car and I'm slamming the door to go around right on his foot. Yo, stop that! But anyway, I get in the car and boom, and man, I'm making a good time. I don't have a clue where the hell I'm going, because I'm looking for one of them blue hospital signs. And all of a sudden, Mad Dog, he come up like the Undertaker, and the visor, he pulled the visor down, there's a mirror, and he started wiping his mouth like that. It was Alka-Seltzer, and he opened the glove box, and he took out a map, and he circled it, and that's just how he got a free damn meal. This is the dumbest part of the whole thing. So I'm driving, I'm looking, and he thinks he's a funny man. And then all of a sudden he stops, boom. Hey, you, that dog. How old are you? I'm 15, sir. That's illegal. Can't drive at 15, pull the car over. Legal? God, he drove, and I lived with him for 2 more years. I love you. You really are pretty special to me. I know there are a lot of guys in my business, but I guess you're the ones who gave me. And my son, Colt, he's coming down today. He's going to pick me up because I've been too long on the road. But if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have Colt. If it wasn't for you sitting here, I wouldn't be here. So I love you with all my heart.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big Mad Monster thank you to Roddy Piper!
About your head.